How many of you have joined a community, joined a mastermind, joined some kind of organization where they promise the moon that if you are here, you're going to get better, you're going to have a return on the investment, and it never pans out. And we see this rampant, especially in healthcare. And on this episode, we're going to be getting into the power of community and what's coming downstream for BPS. So Dan, we were talking about there's different occupations that have different support. Like one of the ones we were talking about that we believe have an incredible amount of support, right? So when I think of an occupation, like if you do this, anywhere you go in the United States, like there's going to be some kind of support system or group to help you. One of the ones that stick out is veterans. Like they can get, fat discounts on things, going to the airport, whatever. Like there's a lot of programs, nonprofits, government programs that are specific for veterans. So I would almost say that they're kind of on that far end of that spectrum of like, if you're there, you have a lot of support, whether it's buying a house or whatever, right?
Yeah.
What are some occupations where you feel like they get zero, like nothing? You do this, you are on your own, dude.
I mean, I feel, well, obviously we talk a lot about healthcare. I feel like that's a big one right there. And I feel a lot of it is, and you hear it too. You hear it from, there's very few medical providers that say my association, which is usually the support structure for most people, very few of them say my association is strong and supports me and really helps me with what I need. Most people, when they talk about their medical association, whether it's the AMA, Chiro Association, whatever it is, most of them are saying they suck. They don't do anything for us except collect more dues, and then they don't really help us with any of our major issues.
What are some of the things that like are the biggest gripes when they say like some of our major issues? It's like, hey, I'm a part of this organization. I would love to get some support here, and here because it's for me or for my business.
Yeah, a lot of it comes down to, I'd say a primary issue really is a lot of regulatory issues. So there's regulations put in place that actually do some pretty decent damage to certain medical industries. And then the big gripe from their group or the support group, so to speak, is that you guys aren't doing anything or minimal to actually help us get these regulations overturned. So whether it's you're a doctor who is trying to get more physician-owned or trying to get physician-owned hospitals, which is not allowed, or if you're maybe a physical therapist and you're not allowed to do something like dry needling, they're looking to see what kind of support am I getting from my association specific to my field and maybe specific to my state. What are you doing behind the scenes to actually help us and advocate for us? That's the biggest thing.
Okay, so one of them is that the group has a legislative kind of activist type of arm where it's like we need to change some of the rules and regulations and laws to make it easier for us to take care of patients.
But they do, and then they do none of that.
Yeah, so that's like and obviously with like Congress, state level, all that. Government shutdowns, like there's a lot of things that can really impact that. So what are some other gripes that they have where it's like, all right, you as a group, because that's a pretty tall order in terms of expectation. I'm a part of this group and all I want you to do is just, do some stuff legislatively. Yeah. But are there other things that there's an expectation that they have for themselves as an operator or owner or for their business?
I believe as you get more experience and you see what your associations don't do for you, obviously your expectations change. But when you're first coming out of school, you're saying they're going to support me, they're going to help me run my business, they're going to teach me some skills per se, and then you get none of that.
So like business leadership skills, business structuring, how to set up, like all those things that they don't teach you in medical school. Yeah. That when you get out and you want to start it, that these associations should be helping you.
Yeah, you get nothing. Usually what you'll see, there may be some support with regards to how to reduce burnout, some of those health challenges that a lot of medical practitioners face nowadays, how to reduce your stress, mindfulness, what have you. But if you're the business owner and you're experiencing that, and you're saying, well, I'm experiencing all of that because of the challenges that we're having with insurance and the actual business, you're not helping me there. So being mindful is not actually helping me fix my business.
So so there's okay, I'm meditating 15 hours a day, but my business is still a dumpster fire. Thanks for the help. It's like it almost feels like it's a bit of a Band-Aid. Like, oh, you're having issues with burnout. Okay, you should meditate or do a cold plunge.
I could tell you right now, there's a lot of, and this used to actually irritate the hell out of me. But then I really understood it, and I kind of agreed with them. A lot of medical providers who don't even join their professional associations, and those
Why is that?
because of what we just said, which is I'm paying you hundreds of dollars a year, and I'm getting jack shit in return. And then what would actually, and this would piss me off, is that you're spending, like I said, sometimes hundreds of dollars, and then it's, hey, we're going to Congress to fight such and such. We need you to give us more money. It's like, what are you doing with the $500 I already gave you?
Yeah.
And you have thousands of us as part of your association. What are you guys spending that money on?
Is it possible that these are like not a Ponzi scheme, but do you feel like they just siphon right now we're in the age of
fraud, waste.
Somali like freaking daycares. It's happening in Minnesota. Like money's being routed into places where it's like, I don't really know what this is doing. So is there like a general consensus that some doctors are like, where's this going to? Like, what's the point
Everybody.
of this?
Well, again, whether you're acupuncturist, PT, chiro, doctor, you're like, just where's my money going?
Yeah.
Because it's not leading to anything.
Yeah. So one is where the money is going, and that's a frustrating thing. But it's mostly of like, because people are willing to pay for something if they're getting a service
Value
back.
in return,
If they're getting value in return. And so the value that, let's just say, like what these doctors want in return, and being a part of an organization, being a part of a group, what would you say like some of those top 2, top 3 things of like, if I'm going to join a group, I want this. This would be such a difference maker for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first and foremost, for that individual, so it's just understanding, I would say, is what does value look like to you, right? So what are you looking to gain by joining any kind of group? Is it, I just want pure support? I want to be held accountable. So it really determines what's the outcome I'm looking to do. And from that standpoint, if you say, all right, this group or this membership is saying they're going to give me this value, I think ultimately it comes down to, in any kind of group, it's what does the communication look like? I think that's a big challenge for a lot of groups, is that there is none. It's just you join and then you kind of get crickets, or what was promised is vastly under-delivered. And that's a major issue, which is, hey, you're going to get this, and then we give you none of that.
So what would be like maybe 2 things?
I mean, the biggest reason...
Because I get, like, it's all depends on the individual, but generally doctors, what would they want?
The biggest thing, though, is what kind of peer support am I getting? And ultimately when we look at joining any groups, it's, do I get to actually collaborate and talk to the other people in the group, right? That's, I think, one of the biggest attractions is, all right, I'm going to be in a group of maybe 10 or 100 or 1,000 people that are just like me, but then I don't even get to talk to them and engage with them and learn from them. So that's number one, is do they have access to the people in the group? And then I would say secondarily is even having access to the person or individuals who are running the group. Do I get any FaceTime or some kind of communication directly with that person, or are they just an admin behind the scenes?
So here's some stuff that I would have, because I think those are really good benefits. That if I have access to people in a group, but they're not really doing anything, right? It's kind of like with what we mentioned with some of these groups now, with like we don't know where it's going. Yeah. Like you might have access to like people, but it's like I don't even really know what they're doing. So I think that there's some really good benefits in everything that you said. To me, it really boils down to kind of 2 things. Is that if I'm joining any type of group, whether it's finger painting or whether it's like working on cars, which I've done, right? One is the executional know-how. Like I'm in it because there's one reason that people do anything. It's because of the outcome. Like if I get up and go to the fridge, it's because I'm expecting food to be there and so I could eat, so I could do this, right? Outcome. So people join a group because there's something in the group that's saying like, hey, we're going to deliver this, and it's executional know-how. So that's like a big one. And the second part is the completion of it. So like now that I know how to do it, am I being held accountable to complete it, to actually do it? And everything else is there. And I feel like that is missing so much in healthcare. just that they're not. It's like this is how you this is how you do an org chart. This is how you onboard. This is what you do here. Like, okay, you're running a clinic that's 15 million revenue, and it's a Cairo or whatever. It's like a multi-practice facility. These are some things to have in place. These are some pitfalls. Like none of that is happening with some of these organizations where these doctors are getting involved and saying like, I need help. And the reason why that we're seeing, hey, it's really not happening is because we just arrived in 2026. In 4 years, by 2020 or 2030, what is it? Over 150,000 doctors are going to be out of the market.
About give or take 130, 150.
What's that, like early retirement and what else?
Just quitting, retiring, selling, closing up shop.
And the question for you, Dan, is like, why would someone do that if they're making money and they're having fun and they feel fulfilled?
Well, all right. So I want to actually go back for 1 second because you mentioned a key word there, which is accountability. And joining a group for accountability, which is what a lot of people, some people join it for accountability, others should join for accountability. But the big issue I see in healthcare is that individuals don't hold each other accountable. So if you're a doctor and I'm a doctor, or if you're a physical therapist and I'm a physical therapist, there's just too much fucking agreement. It's like we're both struggling. Insurance fucking sucks. The government's hurting us. But then there's no conversation where it's like, yeah, that's all true, Antonio, but what are you doing to improve your systems? What are you doing to improve your business operations? There's just a lot of, hey, we're all in this together. It's like, but you're not really calling each other out on the things that you could be improved within your practice. I see that all the time. There's just so much kindness.
Aggravating.
It's like, yeah, there is, because it's like you guys are just placating each other. You're not saying, Antonio, you're crushing it, but you're also fucking up in this one area too that you could be doing so much better in your practice. So that's just one thing I want to throw out there too, because accountability means nicely, respectfully, calling each other out and making sure you're actually doing everything you can to improve yourself and improve your business. From the standpoint of why would somebody leave if their business is doing great, they're not burning out, they're loving life, their employees are great. I can't think of one, right? That's the thing. It's like
exactly.
There isn't any. Unless you're just, all right, I'm old enough.
Or bored.
Yeah, it's like I'm bored of, this is getting easy for me, or I've just gotten to the point where I'm ready to unload the practice. That's the only time. But if you're saying, all right, well, 140,000 people are reaching out, it's like, no, they're definitely not reaching that point.
And it's because some of the subtext kind of be underneath that is like there's the support that they're getting is not maybe enough. I know we talked about veterans where there's all different types of support that they can get, from like mental health to buying a home to financing a car. Like there's a lot there, and rightfully so. Like that, no, we're not knocking that on any level. No. But when you're looking at doctors, it's like, there is some level of support out there, but it's just not good enough. No. It's not up to snuff. It's not modernized. It's not optimized for today. And what we're seeing in the market is, if it was so good, especially, with where healthcare is like you can make a lot of money in healthcare and you're really impacting people's lives. It's such a fulfilling industry to be in when you're like helping someone come back from a car accident and so on and so forth. Like you have, where like I was nervous that I wasn't going to walk again, and I worked with you, and then it's like, man, like there's light at the end of the tunnel. Like how fulfilling is that? But they're leaving. Yeah. It's because of burnout. It's because of chaos. It's because of lack of direction. It's because of the support that is there is like, what is this, 1983? So we want to give you a couple of things, because Dan and I, and here at Best Practice Strategies, like we kind of take that personal. Like that's not fair to people to go through that. At all, on any level.
You see, you see a lot of people get frustrated because the mentality typically, well, you gotta be more resilient. And you have to be more adaptable, and that'll help you burn out. It's like, dude, that's not making up for the 40 freaking patients I'm seeing all day, or the fact that I'm a nurse and I have no support and I'm treating 8 patients instead of 4.
Yeah, and that's so surface level too, because you could say the same thing to like a realtor. Yeah. Like, all these houses and all that. You could say that to like a truck driver. Like you just got to lock
lazy.
In. It's lazy coaching. Bullshit. It's not specific. So here at BPS, we don't think that that's appropriate. We don't think that's good. So what we are actually going to be coming out with a membership ourselves, specifically for doctors that you're being failed in a lot of other areas and you're not going to be failed here. And we want to go over actually a couple of things that we find that are really valuable that we're going to have at the forefront of our own membership. And one of them that we need to appreciate is that human beings are neurologically designed for connection. And it feels like there's a lot of people in healthcare that are rather alone, or they feel alone.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. Yeah, which is, well, I mean, right now people are connected, but we're connected a lot of times through our struggle, right?
Like
It's
that
just,
pain you were mentioning,
yeah,
like
it's
we're
like,
all in this together. And
yeah,
it's like, dude,
we're all
stop.
perfectionists, we're all burned out, we're all struggling. It's like, all right, that's great, but then where's the, I know misery loves company, but I think we'll like to be around people that are thriving, right? It's just I'm not getting better if I'm surrounding myself with people who are exactly like me.
Yeah.
So yeah, to your point, it's we can actually do well as individuals, but more often than not, we're either going to slow the process down, or more often than not, we're going to struggle. Versus, can I accelerate my growth? Can I put myself in a better position by being surrounded by other people? For sure.
So the people that are listening to this, I know a big chunk are in healthcare, and you gotta really, I keep saying the word appreciate. I'm going to stop after this one, I swear. But humans are evolved to survive in tribes. We are evolved to survive in tribes. That is indisputable. It's so rare. It's like a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percent where someone can be just a hermit.
Yes.
So oxytocin, that trust bonding, that molecule that's makes you feel like psychological safety, dopamine, that motivation and progress, reward, and lower cortisol. So really, when people are in a community, they found their tribe, they think clear, take healthier risks, and persist longer when they don't feel alone. That's crazy. Another one around community is that it creates, and you mentioned this, it creates accountability without force.
Yeah.
People just want to get in alignment on these like values.
That's the thing, man, is that when we talk about, it's being able to talk about what's working without making somebody else feel like crap, right? It's not like, I'm doing this, you're not doing that, what the hell is wrong with you? It's just being able to like essentially be in a group where you can level yourself up. You see what's working and you see who's winning. And that sometimes too is just the accountability. Like I know I've had conversations with people and they tell me what they're working on. I'm like, damn, dude, I got to step my shit up. Like, what am I doing? I'm playing small compared to them. So there is that aspect too of just the accountability of knowing what other people are doing that's working. But then to your point, it's also a matter of, can we start developing community where we can just, hey, like this is where you need to step up. It's being able to just kindly not call each other out, but help other people who are maybe struggling or not where you're at get to your point.
I think calling people out is really important, because what's at stake here, right? When we're looking at doctors that are underperforming or clinics that are underperforming, that's hurting my kids, that's hurting my grandma, that's hurting, right? Like it's hurting your mom and your wife and like people that are close to you, because you are unnecessarily running a business in a way that's burning you out, your staff, and that goes into malpractice, or there's mistakes that happen, and so we got to call each other out. And what's cool about having a community and a membership that's rooted in like strong core values is that, like, let's just say this: if you imagine this, you have one of the groups, right? You mentioned, was it AMA?
Yeah,
AMA. Okay. One doctor who wants to take their business to the next level. They want to do better. They want to give back. They want to make more money. They want to work a little bit less. It's okay. Group one is that organization, right? Or our organization, right? Our membership. And over here, we are talking about excellence, abundance, progress, strategic know-how. We're talking about mindset. We're bringing in speakers to pour into them. We're showing a track record of things that work. And we are holding everyone to a high standard, and we are communicating, or we're celebrating wins when wins are there, and we are course correcting when people are making some mistakes. Where do you think that doctor is going to have more success?
Definitely the MA. No, I'm like,
yeah,
of course not.
It's us, right?
Obviously.
It's like, obviously. So another thing with communities is that the collective intelligence beats individual brilliance. Collective intelligence beats individual brilliance. So groups outperform individuals when diverse perspectives challenge blind spots. Exactly what you mentioned. Yeah. Knowledge is shared instead of hoarded, which is another thing you mentioned. And decisions are stress tested before execution. God, is that helpful, where it's like, I'm just going to blindly try something that I learned on WebMD or on ChatGPT. But maybe if I had a couple dozen other doctors, you'd be like, this works, bro. Like, get that in there.
Yeah, you see that. Honestly, like you do see that to a certain degree on, I'll say maybe not the one platform, the one that I'm definitely more versed in, like LinkedIn. But even there, it's more just about, all right, this is what's working here. But then you mentioned the word of how to actually execute on it, right? It's one thing to, I got a great idea for something, but then I don't know how the hell to implement that into my own organization. So let me just not even do that. Or that looks great here, but I don't know how to implement it here. And since you're not there to guide me along, let me just keep doing what I'm doing since I already know that I know the outcome I'm going to get with that.
There's no soundboard that they can jump ideas off of, and it shows. Here's a couple other things that we're going to be appreciating with our membership in our community is that we understand that identity drives behavior more than willpower. So I'm going to read off this here real quick. When a community reinforces identity, like I'm a leader here or I'm a professional who follows through, then what ends up happening is that embodiment is carried in a lot of areas of their life. Also, being in a high performing community, just not any community, right?
No,
that emotional regulation happens socially. Like I've definitely had that where let's just say like you had a really rough day at the office. Let's just say that you got your teeth kicked in that day with staff, or a couple people called in sick, and scheduling is all over the place, and you are stressed, you're fearful, you're uncertainty, and the community provides emotional buffering during high pressure moments. Communities also change people's perspective during setbacks. You can have someone else in the community, another doctor was like, I had that this time last year, and man, am I with you. And then there's also this normalization of a struggle, so it doesn't feel like this it's not an event that's going to completely destroy my life, but it's like, okay, I can recover.
I mean, the other thing too, man, I would add to all that, because that was all very beautifully laid out, is also, and I want you guys to understand too, that we're not just obviously gearing this towards doctors. I would really look at the best way that we learn, and this is the way we've been structured at the podcast, though, is how to learn from people who are, they're maybe in your industry, but they're all doing very different stuff. So what could a physical therapist learn from an orthopedic surgeon, and vice versa, right? Or what can an orthopedic surgeon learn from a chiropractor? So it's being able to also see the perspectives that we all have, not just, all right, what's working, but it's, all right, that's something that maybe surgeons, we never do that, but it works in the chiro space. Can I try that? And what would it look like? And how would I implement it? And what kind of benefits have you gotten from doing that? There's a spine surgeon I know, and I was just talking to him last week, and he's crazy with his follow-up. Like, he gets on the phone and follows up with patients all the time. And it's actually, I hate to say it, is rare for really any medical practitioner to do that. And we were talking about that, and he's like, dude, customer services, that's the thing that's going to differentiate you, right? So if I'm a provider who doesn't do that, and then, we just did an episode recently where we talked about cancellation rates. So I'm a provider that doesn't follow up patients and doesn't think it's important for a doctor to call patients. And then I'm wondering, why is my cancellation rate so high? And this guy's telling me all the things over here that are skyrocketing his business. I might want to adopt some of that.
Yeah. So really, at the end of the day, like when you're having those things, whether they're different disciplines that are learning from each other, the whole point of that is to kind of build momentum.
Yep.
You build momentum. You want to know what it actually does. It's a contagious thing.
Yes.
And when there's the right energy of the group, there's one person's progress can motivate others. Wins are amplified, and things that we can catch is that we can catch slumps quicker.
Yeah.
So if someone is like going through, an issue, we can catch that and then repivot that person. Another thing that it does is that when you're building that momentum is that you have these positive feedback loops from progress to belief to effort to results, which lead to more progress, and that whole loop happens over again.
That's where you used a really great word there, which is momentum. And that's one of the things that I mean, at least I don't see it as much, and if you do, but when we look at other just groups in general, masterminds, what have you, there's no designed progress. There's no, all right, how do we keep things from one week to the next moving so you guys are actually getting better and better? It's just very haphazard of like, all right, what are we going over this week? What are we touching on this week? And it's not so structured out in a way that's, how do we get you continued wins? Like you said, it's just, all right, today you're doing this, but then tomorrow's something unrelated. And it's kind of just a hodgepodge. And you end up really just using it more so as, I don't want to say a sounding board for bitching and moaning, but that's what a lot of these end up becoming. Is just, all right, now we end up coming here to just a vent. And it's like, all right, there's nothing structured to actually help us gain that momentum.
So I'm going to I'm going to finish up on these two. And one of them is that with communities and with like the membership that we're having is that a sense of belonging increases loyalty and longevity. Man, if more doctors felt that way, then they wouldn't be leaving in hordes. You know, like it's crazy. And so we want to create a space where people are seen, they're valued, they feel useful. And the other thing is that community also accelerates transformation.
Yeah.
Trying to do it all on your own and scaling a company, getting better, developing your own leadership, developing other people, you know, doing your own flow charts, you know, optimizing your systems, you know, double checking with what works with marketing, blah, 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 blah. Like it's a lot.
Yeah.
Like it is a lot. So being in a community accelerates transformation because learning curves are compressed. Confidence can be compounded too, especially if like you're trying to do a strategy and you're kind of half-assing it, and then everyone else is like, "We made so much money, and this was so much easier." Like, okay, let me do it. And then also implementation replaces just information.
Yeah.
Right. So. You know, having a membership where this is at the forefront, I think is going to change a lot of doctors' lives.
Yeah, I mean, again, just doctors and owners, and you know, really for anybody, it's having a designed plan on what to execute. And you just, you know, you outlined it really great, which is there's a lot of different components. Mm-hmm. You know, to not just running a business is ridiculously hard. Running a healthcare business is on another level because you're just bringing in multiple layers that a lot of businesses don't have to deal with. So to your point is, hey, I'm a great doctor or a medical provider. I don't know anything about marketing. Or I'm a great provider or a doctor, but I don't front desk scripts. What
script?
Yeah, like why do I need to do that? Like, so understanding there's these aspects of running an organization that most of us just don't know. And again, you like brings up a lot of ignorance. And just things that we're not taught in school, and we're not definitely getting taught afterwards. So it's either you take years to learn these things, or you become part of something that compresses it and gets it done all in under a year, so you can actually run a business that doesn't friggin' destroy you and actually helps elevate you.
Absolutely. So if you are listening to this, a business owner, doctor, running a clinic, anything like that, and you're like, you know what? I have been going at it alone. And here I am in 2026, and I realized that, yeah, some of the organizations I am involved with, even though they just maybe a couple $100 a year, like they're just not getting it done. Yeah. I don't feel supported. I don't feel like I have direction. I feel like I'm going to be repeating the same thing year over year. Yep. And you're just thinking to yourself, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm tired of it. I don't want to do it. I didn't go this far just to go this far and then calling it quits like these other 150,000 doctors. It's like, I want to be different. I want to learn the right stuff and make it easier, quicker, better. And what would you suggest that they do if they feel that way?
I mean, number one, obviously you have to your point, you could either focus on just doing the same thing and having the same struggles, or you can decide finally, all right, this is the year I'm going to do something different. And then let's just call it what it is. We're obviously talking about our own membership that we're going to be launching up in the next few weeks. And I would just want you guys to be just aware of taking some action in the sense of it's not just a matter of information. It's a matter of holding yourself accountable. Sign up for, once we open the membership to sign up, is actually just sign up. And if you have questions about it, I would just say, go to the show description and book a discovery call and ask us some questions about what this is going to look like. Because ultimately, there are some really good groups out there. So I just want to be transparent where it's not you bashing every single group, but there's a difference of having some emotional support, providing strategies for maybe a different career or how to invest. Big things in medicine is how to invest into real estate so you create some financial freedom. But that doesn't help you grow your own business. And that doesn't help you you started a business for a reason, and we want to make sure you can continue along with that reason. So I would just say book a discovery call with us. Find out what the membership is going to look like because it's robust. I mean, we spent a lot of time building this curriculum out. It's for not just for a year, because it's very easy to build a membership out and say, it's for a year, it's 2 years, ongoing, whatever it is. This is structured to literally touch on every single facet of the business, from front desk to billing, how to provide, how providers should act, like everything, soup to nuts. And the benefit of having somebody who's been 100% dialed in on business with somebody who's been a clinician and has treated patients, this is a combination that you're not really going to get anywhere else. So I would just say book a discovery call. So if you have some questions, that way once we open up the signups, you guys can just get it done. And just more importantly, focus on taking control and really taking some action and not really just focused on the solutions, but actually creating some not focused on problems, but really focused on creating some solutions.
And here's something that we're going to be disclosing here too, is that it's going to be backed by a money back guarantee. All these other organizations, people are paying tens of thousands of dollars, all of this to really not get anything. And we are going to have one that if you are not hitting a certain marker that we're going to set out, then we're going to refund you completely.
Yeah, put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to put, we're going to have skin in the game, and you're going to have skin in the game. And if you are one of those people that you're like, you know what, I'm in, book a call, description below. We'll see you there.